Great. Okay, good. Start. So, upright posture and settle down. Heels are touching, the tongue's on the roof of the mouth. We feel like we are lifting the chest, rotating the back of the neck and the head, and then falling away from the crown of the head. Everything softens. We have the feeling of the legs releasing, the abdomen releasing, the shoulders and chest softening, everything just falling away from the crown of the head. We start to notice the weight in the feet and where we put the weight in the feet. So it's up to us how we organize our connection onto the ground. We have to change our body forward a bit, backward a bit, sideways a bit, open the hips a little bit to really put the weight into the center of the foot. And then aim to keep the focus in the center of the foot. We're just going to do an up and down exercise, which we haven't done before. So we lift the whole body, we push the body up about an inch, and then we just let the body drop down about an inch or an inch and a half. We come up on an in-breath and on the out-breath, we go down. The main focus is where the weight is in the feet. And we're keeping the weight in the same part of the feet while we're going up and while we're coming down. Going up is pushing the legs into the ground, pushing the feet onto the ground, straightening the legs a little bit. Going down is letting go, softening the muscles in the leg, softening the buttocks, softening the abdomen, softening the lower back, releasing to go down. Keeping the weight in the same part of the feet, pushing the feet into the ground to go up. So there's a contraction of the muscles on the way up. There's a release of the muscles on the way down. Keeping the awareness and the weight organized in the center of the feet the whole time. This really brings our focus into the sensation in the feet and where our weight is in the feet. Gives us a chance to really let the body settle down, releasing unnecessary holding. And then we'll open up into parallel stance. With the weight in the same part of the feet, folding the hips and the knees. The weight in the same part of the feet, push the legs into the ground. All the way to the top. And now the same exercise, but now the arms are up, dropping into the feet. Falling away from the crown of the head. Everything finishing together. Mind in the same part of the feet. Make sure when you fold, you're not bringing your body forward to your toes. You're not bringing your bum back, so your toes are coming off the ground. Same part of the feet. The knees parallel. Push the feet into the ground with the muscles, mainly the muscles of the thighs. All the way to the top. Feel the whole body stretch. Just a few reminders. Make sure the arms aren't in front of the body. Make sure the arms are right above the head. So you want to feel this stretch of the fascia of the body right from the fingertips to the feet. It's not a tight stretch, but it's definitely a stretch. And then release to the feet, to the feet. To the feet, to the feet. Finish. Turning to the side by folding the hip. As you fold the hip, take the weight to the center of the right foot. Keep it in the center of the right foot. Turn back, bring it to both feet, the weight in both feet. Feel the stretch above the head. Feel the feet release to both feet. Finishing together. Folding the left hip, taking the weight to the center of the left foot. As you fold, the weight is in the center of the left foot. Pass the weight back to both feet and coming up. Just saw somebody join us, so see who that is. Yeah, hi Joe, welcome. We're just doing the up and down stretch, so I've got you on mute. Please join in, and then if any questions or anything as we go through, just unmute. You know the rest of it. We'll slowly do some loosening exercises, then we will do the section of the form we did last time, revision, and see where we get to. So, just for clarity, Joe just joined, we're working with feeling the center of the foot, and as we release, dropping down, keeping the mind on the center of the foot, and dropping all our weight away into the feet. Folding the hip. As I turn, I'm bringing my weight to the center of the right foot. As I fold, I keep the weight in the center of the foot. I turn back and bring the weight to both feet, even in both feet. Push the feet into the ground, come up. Stretch from the fingers to the feet. Feel the feet and release straight into the feet. So you could say, we're using this exercise as a mindful way to ensure that we really feel where our weight is in the feet the whole time, whether we're going up, whether we're coming down, whether we're turning, or whether we're folding. My awareness stays on the sensation in the feet. Because if my feet are relaxed and soft, and my body weight presses me onto the ground, I'm nice and stable and connected. Just finish there. The arms come up like the beginning of the form, and down. Weight in both feet. Push the feet into the ground, come up. The knees expand a little bit, but the legs don't go straight. The legs still stay bent at the top. They're not locked or straight at the top. They're just lightly bent at the top. And then they bend a little bit more and settle down. When you bend your knees in this position, if you put a straight line from the knee downwards, you'd kind of come to the beginning of the toes. Into the feet. Good, and just shake out. If you've got a spare piece of wall next to you that you can find, I'd like to show you the next thing we're going to look at. Okay, so just have a look first. I'll turn the camera a little bit so you can see the wall a little bit and what I'm going to do. With this exercise, when we come up here, when you're at the top and your hands, the back of the hands are against the wall, so your knuckles are just against the wall like this. What I'd like you to do, the feet are parallel, the body's upright. I can't quite get close enough, there we go. What I'd like you to do is push your hands into the wall and see what happens to your alignment. Just push your hands into the wall really gently, as if you're just extending your arms, and have a feel what happens to your alignment. Feel how you your alignment moves backwards. There's half a dozen times to get the sense of when your arms extend, it pushes your shoulders backwards. Okay, good. Get the feel of that. What I'd like us to do, if you watch a second, what I'd like us to do is try not to have the body move back, but to have that extension of the arm push us onto the ground. So while we're pushing the arms out, instead of keeping the shoulders locked or the posture locked and it pushing the body backwards, when we feel that force on the hands, we soften the shoulders. We let the knees bend and we let the movement of the arms going out bend our knees and push us onto the ground. So instead of the movement pushing my alignment out of the way, it bends my knees. And to do that, the body has to be soft and the body has to change. Let's have a go. So as you push your hands out, see if you can bend your knees and see if the hand movement pushing out can feel like it's pushing you onto the ground instead of backwards, downwards. Every single little bit of pressure that you increase with should push you more and more and more onto the ground. And your body's going to have to change shape to make that happen. Your body's going to have to loosen and realign under the pressure that comes from your hands pushing out. Okay, so your task, if you like, is not to let your back move backwards, but to let your back sink down, everything sink downwards. As soon as you feel your body moving backwards, it's because something isn't changing. So we can do a trick. We can imagine you're standing in a waterfall. Okay, nice warm waterfall, of course. You're standing in a waterfall. There's a flow moving down. Water's pouring down through you. And as you push, you let that water push you onto your feet. Okay. Try that with a visualization of the or an idea of this sinking through the whole body and see if it's any different. And come back up, try again. Sink down through the body with the water first and then push with the hands. Pushing yourself into the center of the feet until you can get quite a strong force between your hands and your feet. So the body is like a spring getting compressed onto the ground. Okay, let's have a break. Just interested if you can feel that, if you can feel how it pushes, you can change your body so it pushes you downwards rather than pushes you back. Yeah, is that making sense? Okay. Give me a thumbs up if it's making sense, or if there's anything you want to add, just unmute. Great. Good. Imagine if we weren't pushing out. Imagine if we were just using the weight of our body and gravity to do the same thing. So those changes that we can feel when we push out, changes of the shoulders dropping, the changes of the knees bending, the changes of the whole body softening, we can feel because we push out and we have to make those changes. If we don't make those changes, the body locks and the alignment goes. Weight goes to a different part of the foot. What we feel when we push out with the arms is what we want to feel when there isn't a wall there, which is gravity pushing us into our feet. So when I do this exercise of up and down here, when I sink, I want to feel exactly the same thing going on inside my body as when I push my arms out. So the whole body gets a little bit compressed onto the ground. And then I push the legs into the ground, spring back up. Imagine your hands are pushing you onto the ground. And you do the same thing with the body to keep yourself in the center of the feet. You do that, you bend the knees, you soften the lower back, you relax the chest and shoulders, and you draw the hands down. Instead of pushing out, which is using the wall, and the alignment goes, we sink down. Now we do it without the hands, we sink down to the center of the feet. We keep sinking down to the center of the feet and compress the body lightly, then we let it bounce back up. We let it sink down and compress the body lightly. Just like a ball going down under the water, we let it bob back up. Okay, have a few goes with that and let me see what you're doing. And if anybody wants to ask any questions, or I'm not explaining things clearly enough, just ask me and we'll work on it. Good. Yeah, good. Good. The whole body sinks and presses down. Use the center of the feet. Like the water going out of a bath, always going to go down that plug hole. It's not going to go anywhere else. So your weight, when it falls, is always going to go to your most stable place, which is the center of both feet. So when your weight drops, you want to guide your weight to the center of the feet. So be aware of where the center of each foot is. Make the changes in your body so your weight drops down to the center of the feet. We call it grounding in Tai Chi. And it's not just lowering the body. It's making changes within the body, within the musculature of the body, that draws downwards to stabilize you. It's not just lowering. Making a very light compression in the body as you go down. And it comes from changing the muscles, from holding, which is what you do when you go up. There's a contraction in the muscles, and we're changing the muscles to a releasing condition and letting gravity press us in. When the muscles are looser, they stretch. Under the weight of our body dropping in, the muscles stretch, just like a spring. This is what we're aiming to make the body do in a smooth and relaxed way. Great, good, take a break. Good. Have a shake out. We'll go through the loosening exercises. Just want to see what time. We're going to put some of this into the loosening exercises if we can. So, first loosening exercise, I'm going to aim for the center of my left foot. I'm going to let everything fall away and drop onto the center of the left foot. Down slightly. I'm going to let that come back up. Aim for the center of the right foot. Down. Come back up. Aim for the center of the left foot. Down. And come back up. Put my awareness in the center of the right foot. Soften. Move towards the right center of the right foot. Turning and sinking. Let the ball that's compressed and pushed under the water bob back up. As you sink, you're turning one way. As you bob back up, you're turning the other way. As you sink to the center of the foot, you're turning one way. As you bob back up, turn back the other way. Center of the foot, one way. Bob back up. Center of the foot, the other way. And bob back up. Loosening exercise number 2. Center of both feet, the center of both feet. Feel the sensation of the feet on the ground. Over 4 swings of the arms, we're going to drop the body down into the center of the feet. And over 4 swings of the arms, we're going to bob back up. So here we go. Together. On the first one, slightly down. On the second drop of the arms, a little bit further. On the third, going down. And on the fourth, the whole body pressed into the feet. That's our bottom compression. Bobbing back up smoothly, pushing the feet into the ground. 1, 2, 3, and 4. On the way down to the center of the feet. 1, 2, 3, and 4. The whole body is lightly compressed, pushing up. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So just stop you for a second. Make sure that you don't have all your coming up in one go. Try and slow it down so that when you come up, nice and smooth. 1, keep coming up, and then 4th when you're at the top. The same for going down. As you go down, don't have it all happen in one go. Slow it down so the knees are getting compressed into the feet. On 1, they're still getting compressed into the feet. 2, the rest of the body's coming down. 3, everything comes down fully released. Push back up nice and slow. Great. That's good. That's the way. I'm just going to have a little spy on you so I can see how you're training and see if there's any. When I have a look, it's a good time to ask questions if you have any as well. Great. Yeah, it's looking good. It's looking good. So a couple of points. Try and make sure that when your arms drop, they're fully at the lowest. Not everybody's doing that accurately enough. Some people are holding their arms a little bit here. The arms are long. Try and really make sure the arms are long. When the arms are long, the weight of the arm's given up, and the weight of the arm giving up helps ground you in your feet. That's one thing you can work on that really helps you stabilize, is when the weight of the arms are given up, you get extra weight to help ground you. So it's a good thing to do. It's also good to be able to take your arm from holding its own weight to being completely empty of holding. Have those 2 extremes. The second thing is at the top here, try not to bring the arms in. Try not to move the, see what I'm doing here, from here, try not to fold the arms this way. Try to let the arms drop with the shoulders first, then the elbow, then the wrist. It's as if something's running down your, say your arm's like a hollow tube and something's flowing through it. Rather than if you do this, what's flowing through it's then got to go uphill. It's not going to do it. So when you drop your shoulder, then your elbow, then your wrist, your arm drops down. Think of a bird's wing or an elephant trunk swinging rather than something bending. Because this is in Taiji, we say this is collapsing. The structure is collapsing here. What we want is the structure to remain connected. And it's a hard one to get, this one, because to move the hands, we often tighten the biceps to bring the hand in closer. And what we have to do here is withhold tightening the biceps and focus more on dropping into the feet with the shoulders. So the sensations we're getting in this exercise of what happens in the body when we're pushed onto the ground is exactly the same here when we push into the wall. It's as if a waterfall is flowing over our heads and down through the whole body. Through the whole body, over 4 swings of the arms. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the knees rebound, coming up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Take a break, please. Good. We'll move on to the third loosening exercise. If anyone's got any questions to there, please ask. Otherwise, we'll move straight into the third exercise, and then on to some form. Okay, good. Let's do the third one for a few minutes. Because we've only done it once or so, I'm going to go over it again in a bit more detail. And I'm going to remind you of the basic structure of it. The feet are parallel. My weight is in the center of each foot. Body stays in this position. What happens is it turns around this axis. What we don't do is we don't bring the body across. The body doesn't move across. The body stays right in the center. I'm turning my hips. More weight is going, I'll do it turning away from you. My right hip is going forward, so I'm turning anti-clockwise. My weight is going more towards the right foot. I square, I drop onto the left foot, more weight is going to the left foot, and I'm turning clockwise. Square. Sink to the right leg, turn anti-clockwise, rebound. Sink to the center of the left foot, turn clockwise, rebound. Sink and turn, rebound, sink and turn, rebound. Hang on a minute. That's not the way I want to teach it. Okay, forget the last 3 minutes. I'm not going to edit it out, but forget the last 3 minutes. There are 2 different ways of doing the third loosening exercise. That's the way I don't want to teach it. The way I want to teach it is this. When you turn this way, I'm turning towards the foot. So when I move on to the right foot, I'm turning clockwise. When I move on to the left foot, I'm turning anti-clockwise. When I sink, when I turn onto the right foot, I'm turning clockwise. When I sink onto the left foot, I'm turning anti-clockwise. Okay, so my mistake, because I've done it the other way for 20 years, now I'm doing it this way. What we're working with is a folding of the hip joint. Turn back, a folding of the hip joint. Turn back. Sinking onto the right foot, turn towards it. Rebound, bounce back. Sinking onto the left foot, turn towards the left. Come back. And now the arms. Sinking onto the right foot, the left arm goes out. Turn back. Sinking onto the left foot, the right arm goes out. Turn back. When the arm goes out, it goes straight forwards to the front. So if I'm standing facing 12 o'clock, the hand goes straight towards 12 o'clock. When I turn back, the turning straightens the arm drops, and the thumb comes to the side, just like the beginning of the form. When the hand goes out, you can see the position of the hand. It's as if it's just resting on something. It's not straight and the fingers are definitely not up, like the beginning of the form. When I turn back, this has the effect of straightening the hand. The pulling of the hips and the pulling of the shoulder straightens the arm, and the arm begins to drop, seating the wrist. Turning, the hand's thrown out, turn back, straightens the arm. This is like the movements we do in the form when we push. From push, when we sit away from the arms straighten. It's not because we push the fingers away from us, but we leave the fingers behind and we sit back, and the shoulder moving straightens the arm. This is very similar here. You look at where my fingers are here, they don't flick up and they don't move. It's the shoulder moving back that draws the hand in, and then with the wrist seated down to the thumb, down to the outside of the thigh. Okay, let's take a break. So just a little explanation for half a minute. I studied with two of Master Huang's very good teachers, Patrick Kelly for 20 years. He used to do the exercise the way I started doing it. So it's kind of in my brain to do it that way. And of late, the last 4 or 5 years, I've been working with Wiki Jin. He does it a different way. And can you say one of them is right or wrong? No, they're both different. They both work on different things. And what I want us to focus on is the way the hips close, the folding of the hips. So in the first loosening exercise, we work very much with how the hip opens. This movement here of the hip joint opening. As we move the weight across and turn, this hip joint has to open. In the third loosening exercise, this hip joint folds. So my weight's going to the same leg both times, but one way I'm turning this way, and the next way I'm turning the other way. And you'll see this move in the next move that we're going to do in the form. Embrace Tiger, Return to Mountain, you'll see this move, how your hips change from opening and then folding. Opening first to turn one way, turn back and fold. And what we want is a nice stable foot on the ground, a nice stable knee over the foot, so that when we move our hips, we're not shaking our leg all over the place and losing and breaking our connection on the ground. Okay, so this exercise teaches us to fold the hips nice and smoothly while maintaining a really good contact with the ground. Good. Let's go through the form, and then we'll move on to that last move, and we'll look at that in a bit more detail. Take your time to settle down. Bring your awareness inside yourself. First, your alignment. Then, anywhere in your body you feel you can release. Let things quieten down, just like ripples on the water. Take time to subside. Your mind joins with the body sensations. And let the body be very, very loose. So your stability comes from constant adjusting, not from holding on to a posture. I'll say that again because it's really important in Tai Chi. Your stability comes from constantly readjusting, not from holding on. You think of a boat on the water and it's constantly on the move according to the waves. And its stability comes because of its buoyancy, not that it's trying to be strong and fixed. It's fluid and it joins with the water. Beginning the form, bend the knees, take the weight to the same part of the feet. Keep taking the weight to the right foot. Move across, taking the weight to the left foot. Keep the weight in the left foot. Turn in, bring the weight to both feet. Keep the weight in the center of both feet as you push up and sink back down. Keep the weight in the center of the feet. Here we can have a little rebound, a little compress the body, and as you're slightly coming up, you can just turn in the left foot. A little bit of refinement. Sit back to the left foot. Find the center of the foot, turning open, holding the ball, facing 3 o'clock. Move in, stable in both feet. Sink onto the left, sink onto the right and turn. Keep sinking as you turn. Step, move in. Find the center of both feet as you sink. Bending the knee and a small rebound. Move on to the left foot, center of the left foot. Sink onto the center of the left foot as you turn. Keep sinking as you step. Then move in, finding both feet. Sink. Left knee bends, left knee rebounds. Square to 3 o'clock. Sit back, sitting away from the right hand, facing 3 o'clock. Turn and drop the left. Turn back, facing 3 o'clock, sink to both feet. Drop the back knee, compress, rebound. Sit back away from the fingertips. Move in for push, stable in the base. Compress the back knee by sinking, rebound and push. Let that hands drift up. Sit back. Find the left foot turn. Find the right foot as you sink into it. Turn. Drawing the toes, keep the toes of the left foot on the ground. Step out, move into both feet. Turn. Back foot's in place, sink into both feet, bending the back knee and small expansion. Find the left foot, sink onto it, coming forward, turn. Lifting hands. Just the heel of the right with no weight in the right foot. Drop the hands. Turn back and fold the left arm to the one fist from the ear. Step to 10. Find both feet. Load the back knee, which drop the body weight. The back knee bends a little bit and rebounds, turning onto the front foot to 12 o'clock. Staying on the right foot, lifting and opening. Sinking, bringing the ball of the left foot. Right crane spreads wings. Turn and chop. Drop the right hand, lift the left, turn open. Brush left knee, twist step. Make sure as you come into the center, your hips and your direction is towards 9 o'clock. Sink. Bend the back knee, rebound, expand the back knee. Drop onto the left foot. Feel the center of the foot. Sink. While you're sinking, lift the right foot. Moving to the right foot, lift the hands, sink. Play guitar. There's no weight in the heel of the left. Turn open. Brush left knee, twist step, number 2. Move in, both feet, square and sink. Rebound. Sit back, drop the right hand. Turn to 8 o'clock. Move into the center of the left foot. Lift. Turn. Place the right heel, walk onto it. Keep turning the body as you move onto the right foot. Find your stability. Sinking onto the right, step left. Move in, find both feet. Sink, rebound and punch. Fold. Move in. Push. Sit back. Center of the right foot, turn. Move onto the left foot. Drop onto the left foot. And lift. Cross hands. Move to the right foot, turning open, just like exercise number 1. Stay on the right foot, now fold the right hip. Sit away from the hands. Turn and fold the left to the ear. Step to +4. Move into the center, finding both feet. Embrace tiger, return to mountain. Turning from +4 to 5 o'clock. Turn back, the hands go around the ball. We've done the next section. Sit back, turn open, and press towards +4. Sit back and push towards +4. Sit back, single whip. Stepping towards +10. Good. Everyone arrived at the end at the same time, I hope. I'm just checking on our time. We've got 15 minutes, which is great. I'm going to take any questions. What I'd like to do for the next quarter of an hour is go over that last move in detail, revise it, have a look at what you're doing. But I'd like to take any questions if there are any at this point, so that I know what you need in the postures, or if there are any other postures previous to that you want to go over. If anyone's got a question, please fire away. Yeah, David, it can be on anything. It doesn't have to be on the form.
Yeah, just on the last move, I'm sure we'll cover it in a moment. So you're in cross hands, you turn left, hands down, and then you turn back. And as we turn back, I'm sure you said something about the hand moving near to the ear, and I hadn't twigged that before. So,
okay, I'll go over that bit in detail.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Should we look at that section of the form together? Okay, have a look first. Have a look first. I'm going to do it facing a few different directions so you can see it more clearly. The first movement from cross hands, if you remember, when I come into cross hands, all my weight goes into the left leg. And then as I lift, it's only as my hands arrive that I step right. But there's no weight in the right foot. All my weight is in the left. The next move, I drop fully into the right. And this movement is exactly like what I do with the body, is exactly like the first loosening exercise. The hands drop to the hips. I'm moving on to my right. My right hip is opening. The knees going forward slightly. The hands come to the hip joints, and there comes a time when the weight drops out of the left foot, that it just wants to open. And it's going in, traveling, my foot travels with the direction of the hips. Let's just do that movement together. From cross hands with all the weight in the left. Drop the weight to the right foot, center of the right foot, turn the hips, drop the right hands, and let the hips turn open. And as the weight comes out of the left, let the toe point in the same direction as your center line in your hips. Let's just try that half a dozen times. You make sure you're 100% in your right foot, 100%. Smooth dropping, finishing when there's no weight in your left foot at all. And you can just check by seeing if you can take it off the ground. One smooth movement. Okay, great. Next little piece. From there, I'm going to stay on the right foot. So if you have a look first, this is where my hip opens when I do the first move, like first loosening exercise. The next move, I stay on the right foot and my hips fold. So I've gone right from facing, when I do the first move, I turn to face 10:30. I stay on the right foot and I turn, probably around about 1 o'clock or 1:30. And my left foot comes in with it, pivoting on the heel of my left foot. Empty foot, no weight, it's just pivoting on the heel. So if you have a look, I drop onto the right, the hips open, I fold the right hip, toes come in facing the same direction as my hips. The left toes come in, there's no weight in the left foot. Let's try that. Do the arms in a minute. Dropping onto the left, onto the right, turning. When you finish, you're facing 1 o'clock or 1:30, and your left foot is also facing 1:30, and all your weight is in the right, 100% weight in the right. Start off on the left foot, drop onto the right, turn to 10:30, stay on the right, turn to 1:30. At the same time as turning to 1:30, your left arm is going to come up and do the same move it does right at the beginning of the form. All that happens is your left arm comes up to your shoulder height, fingers down. But because you're turning, it looks like you're bringing your arm across. You're not really, you're just bringing your arm up, but your body's turning. And your body turn is what makes your arm move. So we'll do those two moves together. From the left foot, dropping onto the right, turn to 10:30. The hands are palm up on the hip joints. As soon as you start to turn, you lift your left hand and you finish the move. When your left hand is at the top, you've reached 1:30. When your left hand is at the top, you reach 1:30. I'm going to have another little spy and give you a chance to ask any questions. Yeah, good. Good. Okay, so with this movement, we don't want any big opening up of the arms going round in a circle. It's coming straight up, and it's the turning of the body that does the movement. It's not opening it out and bringing it back in. So when the hand lifts from the hip joint, the hand's lifting straight up. There's no going out and coming round. There's no going out. It's just coming from the hip joint, it's coming straight up. And with it, the body turns. Taiji is very efficient. And the movements come from the body turning, not from independent movement of the arms. Great, I think you've got that bit. Let's do the next bit. Have a look. So I'll do it facing this way so you can see more. 1, drop onto the right. 2, turn and lift the left hand. At the same time, my right hand is beginning to turn over because the next move is I sit away from both hands. I move my weight to the left foot and I sit away from both hands. Both hands now palm down. As I move to the left foot, I move away from the right hand. So the right hand almost stays where it is, and I just move my body away from it. It's not that I push my right hand out. Have a look again, maybe from this angle. 1, open. 2, turn. 3, sit away from the right hand. 4, as I turn the body, this is when the arm folds into the ear. As I turn, step to the corner, move in. We'll do that bit in more detail. Let's just do the first few bits. Drop onto the right. Lift the arm as you turn to 1:30. Toes of the left come in. Now we're moving to the left foot, center of the left foot. Sit away from the right hand. Both hands palm down. Keep turning the body, and the turning of the body folds the arm into the ear. 1 fist from the ear. Draw in the toes of the right. Step to 4:30. Move into 50-50 weight. Square the body to 4:30. Keep turning until the hands arrive in this position. Have a look at the position the hands are in. This hand is on the center line of the body. It's very much like when we do the push. This hand is like, the left hand is like when we do the push. The right hand is underneath. So parallel to the thigh, just an inch or two away from the right thigh, the right hand, the left hand on top. So if you imagine we've got a ball here. Earlier in the form, we were holding the ball with one hand on top and one hand underneath. So we were kind of like sideways on. This time, we are pushing the ball this way with one hand on top and one hand underneath, away from us, not holding it towards us this way, but away from us. So the hand position again is this. It's not that, not one on top and underneath, it's more that one. Good. Let's do that whole piece. Dropping onto the right. Stay on the right turn. Lift the left arm. There's no weight in the left foot. Move back onto the left foot, sitting away from the right hand. Draw in the toes. They can slide on the ground, but there's no weight in the right foot. Step to the corner. Move in 50-50. Square and sink, holding the ball. We're running out of time, so I'll just quickly show you the next move. And there's only one move we need to know to link this into the other moves we already know, which is from here, facing 4:30. I turn slightly towards 5 o'clock. As I turn back to 4:30, the ball that I'm holding turns over. So have a look. I'm holding the ball facing 4:30. I'll do it towards you so you can see. Have a good look. The next move is the hips turn to 5 o'clock. As they turn back to 4:30, the hands turn over. Then I sit back, press, 4:30, sit back, push, 4:30, and then I sit back and do a single whip to 10:30. Let's do that whole section all the way through to single whip. From cross hands, the weight's on the left foot, sink onto the right, turn open. No weight in the left foot. Turn and lift the left hand. Now I'm facing 1:30, no weight in the left foot. I move to the left foot, sitting away from the right hand. Both hands palm down. Draw the right toes in. Turn and fold in the left hand to the ear. Step to the corner, 4:30. Move in 50-50, turning to face the corner. Bow stance to the corner. Right foot to the corner, waist to the corner. Center line to the corner, focus to the corner, 4:30, with the right hand by the right thigh, palm up, the left hand palm down on the center line of the body. Turn to 5 o'clock. As you turn back to 4:30, the hands turn around the ball. Now my right hand is on the center line of the body, palm down. My left hand is underneath at the bottom of the ball. Sit back, roll back. Facing 4:30, move in and press. Sit back, move in and push. Sit back, long in the arms, turn all the weight on the left foot. Back to the right foot, holding the hook. Turn, lift the left fingers to the right wrist. Draw in the toes, step out to the corner towards 10:30. And finally sink and expand. Single whip, everything facing 10:30. There we go. That was a good solid hour of, I said at the beginning, the devil is in the detail. You know, if you can get the, if you want to unmute, we can just have a chat for a minute. If you can get the accuracy right in your body, if you can get the feeling of being upright, being grounded, and being really loose in your body right, the detail will come by itself. The detail it comes when the principles are working well. But when we're struggling with the detail and trying to get the arms doing the right thing, of course, we haven't got the looseness and the Taiji quality we're looking for. Good. That section a little bit clearer now. Yeah, great. Just got a thumb coming up there from Louise. I like it. She's buried underneath the screen. God, great, good. Let me know for next week if there are any moves earlier in the form you want to go through. I'd like to carry on moving on with the form slowly. I want to kind of start working a little bit more deeply with the form at this sort of level for you guys anyway. So yeah, great, excellent. Good.
Can I just say next week we're in West Wales, so but if you can send me the recording, that'll be great.
Yeah, of course I will. Yeah, absolutely. No, I'll always send you the recording.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's great. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Have a very good week.
Yeah. Thanks, Luke.
Thanks a lot.
Guys.
All the best.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.